Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to this video in which I'm going to be talking about the recent, now over, being that this is January the 28th, a limited time event on Apex Legends called the Grand Soiree. Now, if you didn't know what this event was, it was basically a week-long event where every 2 days there was a new event, and the events were started off with was Gold Rush Duos, which is you and a friend just play on the main map with the only weapons to find are golden weapons. You can't pimp them out any way you want it. Like you usually do, it was just gold weapons, and it was an okay event. I'll talk more deeply into my thoughts on them all here in a second. But next was Live Die Live, which is they took out the respawn beacon areas. You couldn't pick up your teammate banner or anything. What it was the way you would be respawned is if your teammate or teammates made it to the next circle when the storm hit. So the storm would have to hit, like, say if you died immediately, the storm would have to hit the first circle for you to be respawned, but your teammate would have to be in the, that circle. They'd have to be outside the storm when it happened. So you can either, be in the storm and just rush out and then you'd be respawned, or you'd have to wait for the circle to be pushed by the storm and turn into the second circle for that to happen, then so on and so forth. Then we had third person mode, which is, more, an easy understandable one. If you don't know, Apex Legend is a first person battle royale. So this mode was allowed you to play this game in third person perspective. Next, we had Always Be Closed, and if you didn't know what that was, it was basically, or if you didn't know, you're going to find out all this. Yeah. But Always Be Closing was you see where the only circle was, which was basically the final circle in any game. It would be the final circle, and the storm would always be moving. It wasn't ever sped up. I'm not sure if the damage ever increased as it was moving to certain points, but it was always moving. But it was always moving at the same speed. Next, we had Armed and Dangerous, which is basically you only had shotguns and sniper rifles to use, and the armor was limited to a small amount of spawns of those. King's Canyon After Dark was the next one, which is the first map, at nighttime instead of the usual daytime. And then lastly, we had Dummy's Big Day, which was a very interesting, unique one. I would have to really talk about it to really make you understand it. But for the most part, it's like you all had this like dummy kind of character, like the basic like look you'd have for a character before you created them. Kind of the outlining look area of your average legend. Before you put on the texture, the skin of the character, and all that. And their abilities were really unique. Your main ability, not all, but your main, you'd shoot out uh, loot of some sort. Usually, it's like it's ammo or health. I don't think it was ever a gun. It could have been ammo, health, or like a part for a gun, but that's about it. No other weapon. And then the ultimate was a random thing where it was kind of like you'd have Mirage's main ability, but instead of it just being Mirage's here and there, they were actually move around the same way you'd kind of move in fairy ways, as well as there was the one where you'd heal anybody. I mean, not just your team, but anybody. Like all health, all shield. And there was one other one, which was you like this grand loot where it'd shoot out different fairy things, which this time would also include weapons. Nothing gold, of course, weapon wise. Not sure if gold anything, it was just, but for the most part, loot stuff. But yep, those were all the modes. Now, what I'm going to talk about is from the ones I found the worst to the ones I found the best. Now, the worst I found was Live Die Live. And the reason was, like I said in the beginning, if you died off immediately, you'd have to wait till your teammates made it to the first circle at what being, already been pushed by the circle and you were just coming out the storm, or you have to wait for it, which was basically about 10 minutes. It was boring as fucking hell. It was the only mode that I never actually played a bunch of times and got a win in. I got a win in every other mode except for this one because I just found it so boring. If you were like me, and the reason why you don't much play PUBG, you like the gun style, you like the gameplay of it, but you just find it so boring because if you die off immediately, you just have to sit there and wait. This mode basically reminds you of that shit, since they don't have a respawn way in PUBG, nor I'm betting where they ever, because they just never really ever advance that game much ever. It's kind of been the same kind of thing. Nothing to say against PUBG. I've had my fun with it. I've enjoyed it from time to time. But it's like you understand what I'm saying. It's kind of it's boring when you're the first one out and you gotta wait for your teammates to either die or win. So it's like you're just sitting there, and best you can do is like just back out, go into a game of solos or some shit, dude. It's like, why don't you, PUBG? Why don't you? You know, it's like it's the only battle royale that doesn't have a respawn of function in its game for squads or duos. So yeah, that's why I think it was the worst, overall experience wise. Is like the fact that you had to wait and it was just being so fucking boring. And when you had to come back, you basically, you're far from your loot, so you might not even get that good loot. They spawn you in some, but like even in the final circle, it's like they spawn you with like a purple shield and a single weapon with like two clips, I think. And like at one game where it was like I was the last person versus the team, and I would think, at least have me golded up, have me a gold armor, gold like at least the shotgun the master for like the Mozambique and something, just something where I could possibly defend myself against three fuckers. Like the last circle basically gives you the same as the next to last circle, and before that I think it's just like a pistol and like a white armor. It's like I said, it's like just one of those modes where it's just like good on paper, bad execution. Not to say they executed it badly themselves. They executed the way I think they would want it to done, and props on them. I just like I said, I found it so fucking boring. It's like, oh, basically was anti, fighting. It basically promoted you being very passive and being just like anti what the game usually is like with the way the respawn beacons work and everything. It's just like yeah, this mode was anti regular Apex. And that's why I think it's the worst one. It's like I found it so boring. You know, how long you had to wait, and I think that's why you see so many people just like if they immediately die, just leave because it's like you don't want to wait that 10 minutes, dude. Because it's really like you have to wait 5 minutes for the storm to start moving, and then 5 minutes to wait for it to hit the circle, dude. It might have been shorter than that a bit, but it basically felt like eternity. It just felt too damn long, especially for what you come back with. It's like I said, it was the only one I'd ever of the modes I didn't ever get a win in because it just was so boring. I just couldn't stand it, dude. It just couldn't. Like I said, it was anti the game itself, dude. It was anti, get into fights and stuff. It's like you want to be passive as hell for this mode to, win. So it's like, ugh. That's why I play this game over PUBG. I like PUBG, but it's like PUBG. I mean, you want to be, smart and tactical about what you do here and there, but a lot of it's like, let's just be passive and be smart about it. We can get this win. But that isn't what game's supposed to be about. Game's supposed to be fun, enjoyable. How do you enjoy basically doing nothing? That's what I found so annoying about people who are just like camping and building like whole game. I can understand holding positions and doing this and that, but basically camping in a single position like majority of the game and not really much getting into gunfights or having shootouts or whatever. I just don't understand those people because how can you have fun doing something so boring? Seriously. But like I said, then well, like I said, sorry, I didn't say anything yet. So stupid right now. Ah, having such many brain farts. But next, I would say of the going up a bit better than that, so bad. I would say most probably agree was the probably people would say this was the worst was the third person perspective, mainly because of the technical issues. Overall, the mode was fun, but the technical issues that plagued it a bit was what down. One, I'm not sure if anyone had this effect, but I thought like single shot weapons would be so awesome, especially how good I do with them, like especially the hemlock, putting it on single fire. But I found like one game where I was having a fight with somebody with a hemlock. I was aiming right at him, but I could see the bullet trail where it was like arcing and just going straight over him. It was like it would come out the gun already arcing, and it would like pass their head, even though I was like shooting right on them. Dude. It felt weird. And of course, the other thing was like either bigger characters like Caustic, Gibraltar, or even Pathfinders. Like they take up so much of the screen, it's kind of hard to see some things sometimes. Like there was one game where I was really Pathfinder is like some I can hear somebody in front of me. I just can't see them, and I moved. It's like yes, there's somebody in front of me, which is so big. I was actually blocking it because they were so close and stuff. It was like, what the hell? course, there were other technical issues like trying to loot sometimes, like how you'd open the bins and they'd be like so close together, like the ammo gun stuff, and like you're just trying to grab the ammo beak, but it's also the guns like it's so you gotta be so precise and everything. Yeah, uh, issues with third person was just mainly of a technical aspect. Gameplay wise was fun, but just the technical aspects is what kind of drowned that mode out a bit. Yeah. So let me look at the other stuff here. My phone. I'm not even. Yeah. Oh, I'm bringing up the. There you go. And I have to do a lot of editing on here. Gotta do a bit of editing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go to rush life. Yeah. Okay. And my one after that, which kind of was tied, I would say, actually tied with third person mode. Less of what would be a technical standpoint, more of just a game standpoint, would be always be closing. It was a good fun mode, but I feel with the aspects of it, like if you ever play Titanfall, it's like it's an okay game, but you just don't like the overall chaotic aspects of it. You know how it's just like it becomes so chaotic. You don't know where to look. You don't know who's shooting you from where and stuff. I think that's the reason why Titanfall didn't so well, because some people found it so overly chaotic they just couldn't get into it. I found it fun, okay, but like I said, myself included, of that, it was like I found it just too overly chaotic. You just didn't know what to think and what to do with some of the aspects. Of like you got Titans over here, you got this person fighting over here, all this stuff. It's like you didn't know what to do. It was just too much information you're trying to take in and not know, and trying to sort out what best to do, but you just couldn't. Some people's brain work that way sometimes. They don't, down, hit on somebody because that's just like I bought the game Titanfall and Titanfall 2. I've enjoyed them, but I didn't play them long run because I found it so overly chaotic. That's what I would say with Always Be Closing. More the end aspects of it. Overall, it's a fun mode. It's okay. It's interesting, but it was more the ending part that would be so overly chaotic because you have like five, six, seven squads at this like final circle where you're just trying to battle out, try to get that win. Fun mode overall, like I said, fun mode. That's why it's kind of tied, but I would say a bit above third person because technically it was just okay mode. Nothing technical issue wise there. It's just like I said, if you don't like the overly chaotic aspects of say like Titanfall or Titanfall 2, this mode would be okay up until the end. The end would is like I said, overly chaotic sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. Overall, it was a fun mode. It was a fun mode. See. I would say Kings Canyon at night and Armed and Dangerous would be above those tide wise because it's like it's King Canyon. It's like you enjoy that map. It was fun. It was good to be back on that map. I like that because the main map is the okay map, but my main issue with it is just how some of these mountains are just so wide. It's like no matter how many, no how quick you try to get to one direction or the other, you're basically fucked because you were just in the middle of fighting somebody while the storm, like third or fourth storm's closing in, and it's like you're basically screwed out. There's a couple games where me and my squad lost because we're in the middle of a fight and the storm's pushing and we couldn't go either direction because it's like either direction's so far we're screwed anyways. But yeah, King Canyon After Dark and Armed Days was fun on each aspect. King Canyon After Dark, just fine getting back on the map. Preferably, I like it at daytime, of course, more than nighttime because there are some locations where it's just like it's so dark you can't see into this area. Somebody could be hiding so hard in a corner you couldn't tell. But those were like rare locations, very rare locations. But overall, it was just a fun time to get back on that map. Have fun on there. And Armed and Dangerous was fun, shotguns and snipers. The main issue I'd find with this mode was not just the aspect of limited armor. It was okay, but they also limited the spawn rate sometimes, like I said, fields of armor shields, and the shield cells and the health. Like there were some games where you'd find all the health and all the shields, and there were other games where it's like you'd find none of it, just none of it at all. And I think that was the main issue with that mode. Overall fun, but just the weird spawn rate of it almost sounds like again PUBG wise. It's like sometimes you'd find none of the armor, none of the health, or you'd find it all. But yeah, it was a good mode, but I think they could have spread out the armor and health a bit sometimes here and there. Because like I said, sometimes you find it all, sometimes you just find none of it. If they could spread out a bit better, I think that mode would be so much better. Overall, like I said, fun snipers and shotguns. And the thing with that mode was the two main things to have, of course, were the crabber and the mastiff. Have that kind of grouping of weapons, and you're golden. Crabber from a distance, massive close-up range, dude. You would rock. I rocked hard with that. There's like a game mode I can't wait to upload these bunch of clips of streams I've done here and there of the modes. Just overall fun stuff and things. This one when I got it was so beautiful. Can't wait to edit all of my footage and upload it to YouTube. Gonna like take the weekend off, especially since it is my birthday coming up this weekend here in a couple days, February 2nd, which I believe is on Sunday. Let me quickly check my calendar here. I believe so. It is my birthday. Yeah, February 2nd is on Sunday. So yeah, this weekend I'm going to be taking off streaming and be mainly editing. It's outside of my birthday, of course. My birthday, I'm just going to get laid out, have some fun, eat me some B-dubs or something, dude. Just have me some good fun. What I want to do is eat some B-dubs and this firehouse sub I love. Oh, can't wait. Now after that, I would say the next one would be actually yeah, I'm doing it right. Okay, I'm just making sure I'm doing everything right in my head and know what I want to do. Next one would be the dummy one, dummy's big day. Now to best put it as I did previously, of the way this mode works is you all have like this dummy skin, different finding color. The cool thing I like about it was that it's like you would just pick basically the same character as the others, it's just different color. You don't have to worry about, one thing I hate about Apex is the pick system for legends. It basically allows for such laziness. You can like pre-choose your legend and not even be there when you load into a game and get them possibly. I find like I said, the pick system such a broken pick system for a game like this, not being battle rap, being a game where you have to choose a certain character. Kind of like say Overwatch. Whereas, here on Apex, you'd have to pick it one at a time and it randomizes who gets picked first, loaded in. And if you're playing with randoms, most times that I do, I rarely ever play with friends. Mostly it's ever randoms. Nothing against, playing with friends. I just don't usually have any friends online playing it. Just happens. But I just find the pick system to be a laziness in itself. But I'm going to talk more about just battle royales in general in another video. But like I said, it was a good game. The only issue I've found with it is why it's not up top with the number one, which you figure that one out, I'll say in a bit, is the ultimate. Like I said, there was like three different things you could do. Either one, heal everybody. Two, you bring out the kind of these clones of you, and you like they all move in a kind of similar direction. Like if you backed up, they would all back up. But if you started running, they'd all run in like kind of different locations and stuff away, and like you wouldn't know who. Like you could shoot the clones and they disappear. So you try to figure out who the actual person is and stuff. It was a cool little thing. And then the last one was you'd shoot out a bunch of loot. Now my issue with this is that you didn't know which one you had. I can understand not knowing what you're gonna get from the other ability when you shut out that stuff. That was perfect. That was fine. It's cool. But not knowing which one you had in case you want to heal your teammates, in case you want to shoot out loot, you need to find loot. I mean, it was like, or you wanted to really gang up on the enemies and stuff. It was mainly a testing ground. If this mode ever comes back, hopefully, maybe it's like they're gonna try and test out other stuff. We'll see. But if they bring it back the way it kind of was, I would hope for you to have like understanding in some way what ultimate you're gonna have. Like the symbol for the alt was like the reverse symbol on a Uno card kind of thing. I would just wish when it was loading up, you'd know what one you're gonna get. If yes, at least a symbol. It might not, you might not know exactly what you're gonna get outside of symbol. Like you just have a different symbol for each one outside that. Like a different symbol would be fine. But that would be like my only complaint about that mode was just not knowing what your alt was. Everything else was fine. It was lovely. It was fun, especially figuring out what it was in the beginning. But like I said, as time come on, I just kind of felt like the ultimate was, you know, not what I would want it to be. Not, you wouldn't want to know what you were about to do. Funny things about it was, though, it was like with the healing. Like I said, you could not just heal your teammates, you'd heal enemy too. So if you're like, I was trying to figure out what my alt was in one game, and I hit it, and it was the heal one, and it said you healed 4 players. Like, okay, so we have enemy around us. Good to know. Oh, actually, no. There was one other issue I found with this. One other issue why I also didn't pick it up into my top spot area, and that was there was no focal communication. I found that to be actually the bigger issue of the two. The other one, if I had to choose between one or two, I would want it'd be the focal aspects of it. Because like you'd ever ping something, you ever see, enemies over here. There was no actual voice coming up like usual, like you'd hear of Caustic saying, "I see enemies in sight," or level 2 armor here, stuff like that. Because I found that especially with if you play with randoms, it's like hard to really communicate outside like oh that felt weird not having any voices being stated, because there's sometimes like say your teammates said enemies over here but you're not paying attention to the minimap, you're just like saying like going about your usual loop, but without that focal communication which would help for you just, oh there's enemies around, okay, let's go. You just didn't have the knowledge of knowing that stuff, which I think it was the hindrance. Like I said, I think that was the bigger of the two issues. Like I said, if any one of these two would want to be taken care of in this mode, if it was ever to come back, I would say that, just use any person or just like some baseline of something, or maybe at least the person that they kind of had the figures. Because if you pick the character, there's always this animation, and the only animation the dummies had was that of Bangalore. So maybe it would just be her, but then it would kind of sound weird, yes, I guess. But maybe I don't know. It's just like have 3 different ones, and whatever, it'd be randomized which person would have which floors, of like a just something, just you'd want something there, because like I said, vocally, it was just not good. And I swear I said what I was gonna put at number one already, but I don't think I did. I think I just explained it. I'm confused now of this video already. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My number one pick would have been Gold Rush Duos. I don't think I put this up here. I just stated what it was and like what was the best stuff. In Gold Rush Duos, like I said, though I swear I said that about something else. I think I said that about Armed and Dangerous. Yeah, I said that about Armed and Dangerous was the Crabber and the Mastiff. I'm an idiot. I said that about Armed and Dangerous, which was wrong. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. I said like the Crabber and the Mastiff were the best, which probably would have been true, but those weren't the combos to have. I'm not sure what the combo was to have in there. I think it would have been the G7 Stout and the Peacekeeper. Peacekeeper, yeah. I think those were the two good combos. I mean, some people like the Pump Shotty with the ability to have, a double shot. But yeah, I think G7 Scout for like medium to long range and then Massive for close. But yeah, in Gold Rush, the combo to have there was the Kraber and the Mastiff of all the gold weapons. But yeah, number one for me was Gold Rush Duel. I thought that was just a beautiful game mode, dude. Just overall, just fun. I had so much fun in that mode. It was a good fun mode. Yes. And overall, it was like I said. I just hope that one comes back because, like I said, that was my favorite mode. It just felt right in some way, dude. Something about it just felt so pure because I think it was like everybody had the same weapon and just like there was so many different aspects. Like there was like a group that was actually pushing me, and I had the massive, and I just donked on them hard, dude. I just donked on them hard. But as I went to try and get heals off of them, boom, I got sniped. Like I was doing so good. Overall, I thought that was like the funnest mode of them all that I had of all of them, dude. It was just something about it was so pure to me. I love sniping and just the sniper shotgun combo there with the Kraber and the massive, so beautiful. Oh, it felt so good. But yeah, that would be my number one mode. I don't think there was anything issue wise there, except for maybe one thing. One thing. There was actually a game which, at some point I'm gonna have, all this stuff edited and it'll be shown. I actually got a regular weapon, which was the devotion. I actually found the devotion. Just in its regular form, dude, not in gold form, just in its regular form one game. which was funny as hell to me. The only other thing that was funny to me in game modes was actually the a dummy one, which was I'm not sure how it happened, but there was these two games where I selected a character, like you have to select, them by color, and somebody got the same color character too. It only happened twice, and I was confused about it, but I found it fucking hysterical. Like, how did this happen? It just made me laugh. It made me laugh. But overall, good fun mode. Though, like I said, I would say the two biggest issues was, of course, Live Die Live, which I found boring as hell. So I wish that mode hopefully never comes back, where it could just change in some way to be so less boring or so much more rewarding for your teammate to get you guys back, as well as the technical aspects of third person mode was nice. It was fun, but if they could just tackle those technical aspects of the game mode, it'd be a sick ass mode to have back at some point. Overall, a fun event. I completed all the challenges that they had for them outside, like I said, the winning one on Live Die Live. That was the only challenge I didn't complete. Was that win? It was the only one I never got. Because, like I said, I found that mode just so boring. I mean, there was a game where like me and a teammate died, and the third teammate was there, and the other teammate died and left, and I'm like, oh damn. And he's like, why do they always people leave? It's just, of course, it's probably just they find it so boring having to do it. And he's like, yeah, I get that, but at least wait and see. But yeah, it's overall, it was such a bore fest. I think the technical aspects of it was just a hindrance to the mode itself. People just found it just too boring. If you kind of being anti kind of what they want to do, get down, get in fights. And if you get knocked and killed, your team will get you back like that. If they win the fights for you and stuff, of the other enemy teams, get you back. But yeah, it was such a bore fest. I wonder how many people actually even won those modes, dude. Not to say that people didn't. Of course, people did. But how many actually succeeded overall to get a win? Not just multiple wins, but just a win. Because I wasn't one of them. Because like I said, I didn't want to try for it. I found it too fucking boring. I just found it too boring. Because then it would make you want to be, passive as hell and just sit back and wait and think, okay, how are we gonna tackle the situation? Should we go to the left? Should we go right? How we're best we can avoid this team instead of fight them. It's okay to avoid a team here and there, but you need to. You're low on ammo, you're low on health items. You don't know if the fight would be the best situation to have, if you could win it, But those are like the thoughts you would be having a lot in that mode. Like, do we want to take this fight? Could we die? What's gonna happen? Overall, just like I said, the worst mode was Live Die Live. The best was Gun Gold Rush Duo. But yeah, that's my thoughts and my opinions upon the Apex Legends limited time event, the Grand Soiree. Okay, stuff from it. I found it on most of the modes, like I said. I can't wait to see what comes from this. Like I said, the whole dummy one was like kind of a testing ground. They were testing stuff there. Can't wait to see what comes from it, as well as season 4. I can't wait to see what season 4 is like coming up soon, dude. They had that ad of kind of thing where it's like it shows when new legends being interviewed. I say that because we'll see the guy that comes up behind him and him might be another legend. That's just speculation, but I hope so. I hope it's 2 legends, not just the one, but 2. I want more content from these people and stuff to have, Can't wait to see what comes up from it. Not to mention, there's a rumor that the ranked play, like the first half of it, is going to be in a kind of redone rework of the current map, and then their second one is going to be part of have the original map back in some way. We'll see though. We'll see. Can't wait to find out. But I thank you for watching. I hope you informed. I hope you entertained, and I hope you had a welcome second day. Peace.